And breaking developments this afternoon regarding the High Park fire. Fire officials confirming just over an hour ago that 112 homeowners have been told their homes have been lost. That number is expected to climb as firefighters get a chance to better survey the damage in the burn area. The fire west of Fort Collins has grown now to more than 52,000 acres since it was first spotted 1 week ago. The fire is still just 15% contained, a number that hasn't changed since yesterday. Officials say it likely won't be fully contained for 2 to 4 more weeks, and even then, the interior of the fire could burn well into the fall. The big push today has been to contain a 200-acre spot fire growing just north of the main fire. About 200 of the more than 1,300 firefighters battling the High Park fire have been working to contain that spot fire alone today. Our team coverage continues today. We have crews on the fire lines and at the evacuation center in Larimer County, starting with 7 News reporter Mike Trim. Mike, more homeowners are fearful they'll soon have to leave.
Yeah, and as we've learned, the number of homes is now in triple digits that's been destroyed. There are neighbors in the Glacier View Meadows area that are waiting on if they'll go, if they'll stay. They don't know, and they don't know for days yet. But it is the front line for home structure protection for firefighters along that northern flank of the fire, and today was no exception. Helicopters dipped down into small ponds for one of the most precious resources needed to fight the High Park fire: water. This couple watches from their Glacier View Meadows home, knowing they're 2 miles away from the flames, and knowing fire crews are in for a long fight.
The boots on the ground, they're going to win it. The air support is great, but it's those guys out there with a shovel. They're going to win it.
A packed garage, boxes ready to go. This is the scene at so many homes in Glacier View Meadows. The mood?
It's above stress and below fear.
It's stressful at the Franz house as well. Justin and his daughter are boxing up their belongings. He's been tracking the fire every day.
It moved quite a ways in 5 days, so I don't think we're doing anything out of the ordinary.
But this is no ordinary fire. This is now the third largest in Colorado history. With now 113 homes destroyed, the tally is expected to grow.
Each one of these represents a family that's been displaced from their home, that may have lost some family heirlooms, some photos, possessions, kids' toys, what have you, and don't have a home to go home to.
And if it happens to Franz's home, he'll be happy to get out alive.
Losing that doesn't bother me. You know, it's wood, it's concrete, it's steel. You know, family, that kind of stuff.
That's what matters.
That's what matters.
And there was a public meeting to alert residents as to the status of their pre-evacuation order. Should they stay? Should they go? It was scheduled for last night. It was canceled. Asked the sheriff's office if there will be any more meetings in that area today. He said no, but there could be some more meetings scheduled, not only here, but at the evacuation center to update residents as when they can get back in their homes and when if they could possibly have to leave their homes up there in Glacier View Meadows. That is the latest. Live here from the command post in Bellevue, I'm Mike Trim for 7 News.
All right, thanks, Mike. These Boy Scouts from Edmond, Oklahoma were camping on the north side of the fire, but because of the evacuation, they spent last night in a Fort Collins church. We caught up with them during a breakfast at Timberline Church. They say they never felt like they were in any danger.
We were communicated every day. We always had updates constantly, at least 1 or 2 times a day, about where the fire was and what was the status. And we were told when we'd be told that there'd be a pre-evac. We were told at lunchtime that we were going to be leaving that day, and by dinner time we were ready to go.
Our team coverage continues with 7 News reporter Russell Haythorne. Russell, you talked to a couple evacuated from their own home, using their time away to help others.
Well, Jacqueline, as you know from being up here at the evacuation center for several days this week, there are many heartbreaking stories. There are also several stories of generosity and selflessness in the face of tragedy.
It's like no fire's gonna touch your on top.
Like many of those who fled just in the nick of time, Jerry and Patty Ellman did the same.
When we started seeing a lot of cars coming down, we knew that it was serious, so we gathered our stuff together and came out too.
But instead of fleeing to the evacuation center for refuge, as Red Cross volunteers, Jerry and Patty had to go to work.
That takes our mind off of it, because you sit around and dwell on things, you know, and you have all these imaginings and scenarios that your mind goes through, you know, and it's hard not knowing.
I get a little nervous if I have to think too much, but other than that, It's just whatever happens is fine.
2 Red Cross volunteers who are also evacuees this time, looking at their jobs in a whole new light now.
And when you know how other people are feeling, rather than just saying, I know how you feel, that makes you better working with that.
This is just what we've been dealt, and we get our strength from the Lord, so it's nice. I mean, we share stories, we share our concerns, and
I don't know, just helping them it's helping us too.
Jerry and Patty are among those who still don't know whether their home survived this fire or not. We're expecting several meetings here at the evacuation center throughout the weekend. We will be here to update you and those people in the evacuation zone as this fire continues to burn and the stories continue to unfold. Live in Larimer County, Russell Haythorne, 7.